I stumbled on the YouTube channel, and the owner of the channel is the dormant seed. This is not to discredit his work, by the way, but he shot a clip on ArriLog3, and he used the DZ film lens to shoot. So that means that it's a very high quality footage. He released a copy of this footage so that anyone that is trying color grading can try their hands on it and see if they can follow him. And alongside, he was selling a lot. However, one of the things I found fascinating about this clip is the fact that my LUT worked on this footage and it produced the same result as this. So you can see what I'm saying. So this is what he did. You can see his footage, the orange, the skin color popping, the brown on the cloth on the line, everything is coming out well. And then this is what I did. So this is the footage he released, and then this is the footage he did, and this is mine. So the difference now, I can see that is the brightness. You can notice that this is quite moody and mine is just brightness. I just love it. I just like the light. But like the skin, you can see the skin color similar to his skin color. Yeah, skin color is coming out. So what did we do? So let me show you what we did. If you want to color grade well in DaVinci Resolve, one thing you should note is that you need to take your color management serious. So if you're using Mac Mini, Mac, Apple, your output space has to be Rec 709A. If you are using Windows, it has to be Rec 709, Gamma 2.4, and then DaVinci White Gamut is the timeline color space because it has a lot of space. You can stretch your image and the colors and everything. So that's that for that. Yeah, so let me just get, it's a lot. I can just explain that in a long version. So now the first thing is that I converted my clip from ArriLog White Gamut 3 to Log3, Log3 to DaVinci White Gamut. As I explained earlier, that DaVinci White Gamut is like, it has a lot of space to allow you to compress your image, to stretch your color and everything. So the output space is this is my output space 14. Output space is, so I converted from DaVinci White Gamut to Rec 719 Gamut 2.4. Then from that, I added another node that convert the CST that converted from Rec 719 Gamut 2.4 to cine film. You can see. So for you to apply a film LUT on a clip, you have to convert first from Gamut 2.4 to a film log, and then from a film log, I added this to it. So now you can see this is what we have as the footage. Can you see? So it's not looking pleasing to the eyes and everything. So the first thing is calm, and then HDR. You reduce your brightness a little bit, and then I come to, so I washed up my brightness with parade or waveform. It's too high, but as I show you, this is what I did for the earlier clip. So for here, this one is my white balance. This is my white balance. So see my white balance. So what white balance helps me to do is that I can push in a lot of the color I'm seeing as skin. So this is a skin color. So if you put qualifier tool from here, and then you put in a skin, you see that the skin is sitting on the skin tone line, right? That's good. Now the next thing is my contrast. The contrast, just push my contrast a little bit. I can push it more than this, but yeah, this is contrast. You can just push your contrast, and then, contrast. So this is the primary, this is the secondary log. So I do it in my primary contrast, and then I adjust my pivots so that to reduce the contrast that I've just applied. Then the mid details allows you to add some extra details into your clip. So if I increase it too much, you can see it looks as if it's too sharpened. So most time I just leave it at 5 or 8, and then if I reduce it as well, you can see you can get already a glow, like this glow effect already in your clip or whatnot. So but like I like to put mine on 5 because I'll still have like sharpen effect on it later on to sharpen the whole image. Then the next thing I do is I just color boost. Now you can see the colors already coming out. This color boost, I use my saturation and color boost here. You have saturation, we have the color boost. 5 for color boost, most time I do 5, and the saturation, I don't go beyond 51 and 52. That's that for that. So you can see the difference now. Can you see? So that's the difference. So for this one I went to my secondary view to add some blue to it, but when I was contrasting it to what he did, I noticed that it was affecting the overall image. So that's it. And yeah, my curve. For curve here, all I just did was come here. I just tweak the shadow, just reduce the shadow here, and then put in some highlights. I put in some highlight, a little bit of highlight just to, and then that's it. For the hue versus hue, so I reduce the orange a little bit, and then I increase the green, because so that you can see the color of the green, so that the green, if I reduce it, you can see the green turns another color, but like I just subtle. And then for the saturation, I came to saturation to increase the saturation of the orange, and then I didn't touch the green. The reason is because the green is bold enough. But for this issue, so one of the things I did is that I don't want it to be too orange or too pink, because I'm still going to work on my color splice. So now this is the color splice here. Color splice is here. So one of the things I did in color splice is that this is where density, I applied density to make the skin richer. So in this place, all I just do is the saturation. So most times people use the HSL, that's the hue, saturation, and luminance, and then they off the channel for the hue and the luminance and leave the saturation, and then go to your gain and bump it up. But I'm not interested in that because I have density, I have the color splice, and I can do my saturation. So this overall saturation, can you see now? It has already affected the grain and the skin tone. So you can see from here, you can see subtle, but like it makes it richer. Look at it on the brown, subtle, but makes it richer, subtle, but makes it richer. Then I come to my color wrapper. I love this a lot, color wrapper. Since I found it, I will love it. So in this color wrapper, you can select, I use the 8 hexagon so that I can select the skin tone here, and then I just use my saturation here to bump up the skin a little bit because of that orange. Can you see? It's subtle, but like you can only see it on the waveform. You see it here on the vector scope. You see, bam, bam. It's subtle, but it add something to it. Then if I want to do the sharpness, so this 10 now, I just come to this place. This is the blur and sharpness. My blur most times is always on 48 because 47 is always too sharp. So 48 is like the limit I go to, and then I come to the blur here. I can make this 10 and then this 5 so that it levels it up. So you can, let me just show you what you are going to see. This is for the sharpness. Yeah, it's the devil in the details, but like it's in the details. So yeah, so that's that for that. And then for this place, this is my alienation, and then comes to alienation. So alienation adds every movie uses it. So reduce the threshold, and then you draw it forward, and then you reduce the strength as well, so it's not so dominant in the footage. And then this is film grain, and then this is the film grain, and voila, this is it. So this is what he had. There are extra things. So you can see his grain. His grain is a little bit down, but like you can see the angle of the footage is different, but this is what he released. So you can see the difference here and here, here and here, here and here, here and here, because I can't see the sky. If I can see the sky, so let's say we want to make it like ease totally, just do the HDR, and then I reduce the maybe light, and then I just reduce my global, and just drag it down, and voila, that is it. So sometimes you don't need, so you can see from here we have easier. Yeah, so and the above, I think mine is too like the saturation is too much, so I can just reduce the saturation a little bit, and then say like, okay, the color boost, I come to my color boost and then reduce the saturation, just put it back on 50. Yeah, and then maybe color boost to 3 or thereabout. So it's just based on what you want, and then so that's it. Voila, that's what you have. This film LUT can be manipulated to get anything you want to get. So this is the major reason I'm doing this. You don't need to buy LUT sometimes. You just need to work with what you have, and this is how you develop yourself, being a colorist or loving color grading. You don't necessarily buying LUT all the time. Main thing people don't factor in when they are buying LUT is the camera the person is using, the lens the person is using, the kind of light setup the person has, and the environment the person is shooting in. Most times, some of these people use codecs that they had to buy a plugin to develop and then they sell. When you apply it on your own footage, it doesn't work for you. So sometimes I don't encourage, most times I don't encourage people to buy LUT. I just advise them that just know the basics of all of these things, the contrast, and then make it suit you. Light, camera, lens, your environment, everything affects your color grading. But if you still want to buy a LUT, you can go ahead and buy a LUT. But yeah, thank you. Bye.